we're going to talk a little bit about making a GPT. I made one, but I thought we'll actually walk through making one. I have a Chat GPT paid account, and as a result of that, I have a beta access to making GPT. So we'll see a little bit about what's involved in that, and I'll show you. I'll show you some GPTs that are already provided by Chat GPT and show you mine. But I thought it would be fun to show you. Basically, we can we're essentially creating a program without knowing any programming. The program is aimed to be a chat, but we can tell it a lot of things that we'd like to ask it to do and give it direction and guidance. And I thought a good topic would be for a kind of a retirement coach, coaching people who are thinking about retiring or already retired to help them understand some ideas about what they could do with their time and activities they might find an interest in. And today we're going to talk about Chat GPT's updates, a few things that are going on with it, why a pro account is something I have and what I get with it. We'll take a look at some GPTs, and we will try and making a live GPT, okay? Nothing like doing something live to give technology a little sense of adventure. I'm logged in, and I do have access to GPT 3.5, and I have access to GPT-4. And GPT-4 gives me DALL-E. It also will browse the web. So it actually goes out to the web and it does analysis. And there's a limit on how many messages. This is one reason why companies and organizations are trying to get better at using prompt engineering, because every time you use a prompt, you're using up one of those messages. And so if you have a paid account, getting the most out of each prompt is valuable. I never really run across that limit myself for personal use, so it's not really much of an issue. You'll see on the left here, I've got Chat GPT. I do have the GPT I created, Tech Explorer Tutor, and I'll show you a little bit of that. But you also have DALL-E, and these are some GPTs I've used, and I see my history of GPTs also. I can still use plugins, but I don't have any installed right now. So this is your standard GPT view that you'd have. It will give you suggestions on prompts. I can go to DALL-E, and it will let me message DALL-E, turn things into imagery. I can clip files up here as well. And then I have something called Explore. Explore gives me the ability to look at what are called GPT. This is the one I created. So my ones I've recently used, and the ones I've recently used came from the ones made by OpenAI. So DALL-E is one they made, but they also have data analysis. So you can drop any kind of file into GPT and have it analyze the data. If you wanted to open up the GPT, this is how you would use it. So it's nothing very, very elaborate in terms of what you want to do, but you have the ability to start a new chat, learn about it, keep it in the sidebar if you want to, and you can copy the link if you're interested in looking at it that way as well. There's ChatGPT Classic, which is what most people typically use. There's a Santa one they made, which is one of the first ones that have shown up without being made by Chat GPT. So if you're looking for gift ideas, not a bad idea. Of course, Amazon suggests things, but this is a Santa by the North Pole. Probably Chat GPT created this, but they, said North Pole. And so they have a coloring page for your kids, a heartwarming Christmas story. These are prompts that are guided by the GPT. So they don't show up the generic prompts. Let's take a look at what's today's Advent surprise. We can take a look at that. We can just click on it and it'll go right to that response. It'll create an image, I guess, is what it's doing. So it takes a little bit of time to go and create the image and get back to me. So this is today's Advent surprise. It's a splendid nutcracker depicted in a medieval tapestry, or you can find a nearby nutcracker performance or learn about the fascinating Brazil nut effect. So you can see a little bit different interaction than just the standard off-the-shelf GPT. Let's take a look at Explore again. And game time, they can explain board or card games to any player. Negotiators, they'll advocate for you and you can become a better negotiator. A writing coach, a cosmic dream, a visionary painter, which is a digital wonder. Tech support advisor, if you need technical help, they will give you step-by-step instructions on getting help. Creating coloring books so you can turn any idea into a whimsical coloring book page. Laundry buddy, ask about stain, setting, sorting, and everything laundry. Sous chef, recipes for foods, turning dreams into die cut stickers that'll be shipped to your door. This was an interesting one that showed up. So you can ask for stickers. So I'm going to ask it to make a cute Magna style sticker of a cat. It'll create the graphic. And I've never explored how they ship it. I saw Sticker Whiz before they had the shipping option. So they're getting into quite a few varieties. Now, obviously, some graphics sites like Canva give you the ability to do it. And so it says, here's a cute Magna style sticker. When you're ready to order, provide the quantity and size, and they'll generate a link for us to complete the order. That's pretty cool. Okay, so let's say 2-inch square and order 12. Okay, I have no idea what it's going to do or where it's going to take me by clicking this link. All right, it'll take you to a page where you can configure the sticker and called Sticker Mule, and gives me the ability to order stickers right from there. Pretty interesting. Now, Canva has some of these tools integrated as well, where you can use their AI generator, and they work with Chat GPT. Let's go down to Math Mentor, help kids with math. Mod Mentor, that'll modify an image, and Mixologist, and they have even more. So they've created a lot of GPTs that are available here. I've loaded them all already, so I'm not. Oh, there's a 4. Gen 4, help understand the latest memes. I don't know if you heard about the latest word in the dictionary called Riz. It's short for charisma, but that's what Riz is. So if you want to improve your dialogue with family members, it's a great way to go if you have younger family members. So these are just some interesting things we're seeing. They're very task specific, but it's using the OpenAI database of information to be able to create this type of activity, which means that you could pretty much figure this out and set up something to do something very specific if you wanted to. And with the Pro account, you do get the ability to create a custom version of ChatGPT for a specific purpose. I'll show you the GPT that I started to create. It's called Tech Explorer Tutor. It's a technical guide offering tailored topic suggestions. It asks you questions about your technical skill and has some suggestions about the types of things you might want to learn, and it will create information to help you learn a particular topic. So if I wanted to say Bluetooth, for example, I could ask it for information on Bluetooth, and it'll give me an article already written, that explains Bluetooth, and it can help me at different levels. I asked it to set up information about it at different levels so I could do this. So, but that was part of my creating of the GPT. And then I also asked it to include, references to other sites if they're available. So how did it know just from typing the word Bluetooth that this is what I wanted? Okay, so let's see if I can go to Explore here. And this is where I created the Tech Explorer tutor. And if I want to modify it, I would click, let me get back here again. Okay, so let's go back, explore, and I want to edit it. You can edit your GPT. GPTs are generic in nature. Chat GPT does everything, but you can create a GPT and we'll walk through it. I've already configured this to do some things, but I've asked it to create some, basically a tutoring explanation technology, and ask people what types of technology level they feel comfortable at, and explain just whatever they might have an interest in to them, and then prompt them for suggestions and other information. Right now, I do not have a verified website. I have to go through some settings to let GPT know that I can publish this GPT publicly, but I can provide people with a link to it that can use it anywhere I want to publish that link. So it doesn't cost you anything to use it. I'm the one paying the monthly fee for the ability to create a GPT. And right now, I don't know if there's a limit on how many I can create, but we'll walk through the steps of creating one, and I'll show you how it works. I'm going to click public here, or I'm going to scroll over this. So if I scroll over public, you saw a little pop-up and it says, this GPT may appear in the GPT store, which is coming soon. So OpenAI and Chat GPT product, they're going to make a GPT store where people can make their GPTs available for sale or use. But right now, I can give you a link to this Tech Explorer tutor, and you can use it without paying anything. And that's the way that most of these GPTs work at this point, is I can share a link. But you only have the ability to create one if you are a paid user. So what I see on the left is the create side, and what I see on the right is a preview of how it will work. So I can actually create a GPT and see how it's going to look and work on the same web page as I look at it. So I'm writing and giving it some guidance, and I'm giving it the ability to do things. Now, this is already created, so you didn't really see what I went through to create it. So let's try and seeing if we can create one. It's a little slow, but it worked okay. Okay, so that was pretty fast. I'm happy about that. Usually things don't work that fast when you're doing them live and online. So I have a two-sided screen. Okay, I have a create GPT. This is a GPT builder. I'll help you build a new GPT. You can say something like, make a creative who helps generate visuals. What would I like to make? Well, I thought it would be nice to create like a retirement coach. Create a retirement coach that helps people get a better idea of activities and interests they can pursue. Okay, I mean, if anybody has any suggestions, we'll add modifications. So I am prompting Chat GPT to create a GPT. So I'm going to click this, and we'll see what happens on the right-hand side. It's updating, so it's going to take it's got a little wrench. It's working real hard here. There's computers that are moving electrons around, and software that's developing code and other things like that. Gave me a suggestion. How about naming it Retirement Buddy? Does that sound good to you? That sounds like a good name. And you can see on the right, look at what the prompts have done. It says, suggest hobbies for someone who loves, we'll see, ideas for learning new skills at 65. How can I stay socially active? Ways to stay physically active. Well, let's just tell it, hey, I like the name. It's going to generate a profile picture graphic for me based on the fact that retirement buddy. I have no idea what it's going to do, but obviously it's going to create a graphic for me. That's not a bad retirement picture. Hey, what do you want? Do you like it? Do you want any different
Yeah,
changes?
I like it.
I like it. Okay, so it's got a thumbs up. And now we've got it updated. Let's refine Retirement Buddy's role and approach. To better understand how Retirement Buddy should interact with users, could you tell me more about the types of activities or interests it should focus on when giving suggestions? Well,
Like,
I
how
know
about let me know about the housing for seniors or something like that.
housing for seniors,
Finance.
Social clubs.
Keeping the brain sharp.
learning. I think that's enough to start. Okay. And I'll say include all of these and any more you can think of. We're getting it a little sharper. We're making it a little fine-tuned here. The behavior is updated. Now let's think about how it should express itself. Okay, what kind of personality or tone do you think would be best for engaging with users planning their retirement? Formal and professional? Probably not. Not for me. Casual and friendly, humor, empathy. I'm going to say casual, friendly,
Helpful.
Empathetic.
kind and courteous, informative. How about that? May be too much, but it'll go along. We're giving it a personality now. Who wouldn't want to talk to a casual, friendly, helpful, kind, courteous, informative retirement buddy coach, right? Should it ask for specific information about physical limitations or finances or other things like that? Should we say, okay, let's see, is there anything else? Now, it's actually live on the right-hand side. When we use these prompts, it's going to give us some slightly different responses. So I'm creating a coach that's going to be a friendly and informative retirement coach. Now, let's try some things out. Okay, so we can ask it anything. Let's say, can you suggest social clubs for active seniors, or what are some good travel destinations, or how to keep my brain sharp? Let's do that. That's one of the number one issues is people want to keep their brain sharps. So here's some ideas. Okay. Lifelong learning, brain games and puzzles, reading and writing, dive into books on topics, journaling, social interaction, joining clubs, physical exercise. So you could ask Chat GPT these things, but these responses are specifically geared towards a retiree. A person might not know to enter in their prompt, hey, I'm retired and I want to be able to do these things. What could you tell me to do? Whereas they just say, what can I do to keep busy? And it'll give you a generic set of answers. Whereas by doing this, it gives you a little bit more. So now we can ask it more detail or other things on this as well that we might want to get into and get a preview of how it's going to work. But I didn't have to enter the prompt. It gave me, a suggestion how to keep my brain sharp after retiring. And so now I've got a retirement buddy. So one of the things I can do also is I have some options for configuring it. And I can modify its behavior. I can say, hey, you gave me too many responses. Give people only 2 or 3 things, maybe. Response. So it spell checks for me, so I don't have to worry too much about the typos, but it's going to update the response. So now if I ask it, instead of giving me like 10 ideas, okay, that's great, or I could say, before you give it a response, ask it. So now let's take a look at how do I keep my brain sharp after retiring? Let's see what kind of response it gives me. Okay, let's see if a few suggestions, not a long list, but it might give me more. I'm not sure how long it's going to go on. So may not have improved it enough, but I can also went only to 6 here. Now, it asked me a question. Which of these areas sounds most appealing to you? That's what you'd expect from a coach, right? Or a buddy, is that not just here's some ideas, which one looks appealing, and you could say, hey,
Music and art.
What?
Music and art.
Okay, so I don't have to think much about the prompts. It's going to give me some ideas and a little more detail about things that I can do because it's Retirement Buddy I'm talking to now, not Chat GPT in general. It's Retirement Buddy. Would you like any more information on it? Oh, could you find? Okay.
Painting rocks, rock painting.
I'm going to ask it something tough. I don't know if it'll do this. And sorry about not capitalizing to my friends in Canada. Now it's going to go to Bing. It's found some websites out there. So Retirement Buddy's doing the research on the web for me, so I don't have to bother doing it. I kind of like Retirement Buddy. This is actually a little playground now. We're interacting with Retirement Buddy and we're trying to help it out. But it's actually using Bing search, obviously because of the relationship between Microsoft and OpenAI. They tend to use Bing. And this is taking a little longer because we haven't launched the actual GPT, but it's going to find some painting classes in Toronto for me, hopefully before too long. It's trying to find a lot of them. So it's really doing a pretty good job researching this. Oh, here we go. Here's some places where you can do painting in Toronto. I'm sure everybody in Toronto knows all of these. Canadian Contemporary School of Art, Toronto School of Art, Art Gallery of Ontario.
That's a big one, Bob. Number 3 is a big one.
Barn School, blank canvases. Could you have come up with a better answer than Retirement Buddy? Retirement Buddy did a pretty good job, I think, don't you? It gave me 6 schools.
How about rock painting YouTube?
Rock painting?
I can hardly wait.
So Retirement Buddies, going to give me some things here. So it's telling me how to find them. It may or may not find anything specific. It's not going out to YouTube, but giving me some ideas.
Since you've got Retirement Buddy set up, the things you've asked it so far are kind of things that might be in a phone book. I'm kind of interested how it would do with a question. Let's say, how can I improve my retirement funds during retirement? Something that's maybe a little more subjective.
Retirement funds or financials. Let's just say financials. Okay,
Right.
That's pretty generic. Oops. Okay, there is an issue processing the request. It may not do anything financial because there's limits to that, right? Downsizing your lifestyle, review your budget, maximizing Social Security, part-time work, leveraging home equity, eliminate debt. Okay, some pretty typical types of things that are now, since it's not a financial advisor, it would be beneficial. Was this response better or worse? Well, it was better than the first one. The first one didn't come through. Okay, so we'll give it a check mark.
So like on maximizing Social Security, can you click on that and it'll give you more tips, or that's just it? It's just very top level.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out if Retirement Buddy can do this or not. Okay, that's not a bad one. Delaying claiming is one of the big things. Full retirement age is important. Spousal benefits are important. Coordinating work at least 35 years. Yep. Check earnings record. Consider survivor benefits. Minimize taxes. Work while receiving benefits. Issues. Consult with a professional. I don't know if I can make it public yet, but we'll try. Let's see if I can do it. May not let me do it. It might let me make it public. Yes, Retirement Buddy is now public. So it's created Retirement Buddy. That's the name. A friendly and informative retirement coach. And it tells me what it thinks I wanted it to do. Retirement Buddy is designed to assist individuals in exploring post-retirement activities, focusing on senior housing, travel, fitness, sports, finance, social clubs, brain health, and lifelong learning with a casual, friendly, helpful, kind, courteous, and informative approach. It should inquire about physical limitations or special needs to provide relevant suggestions. To simplify decision-making, Retirement Buddy will offer fewer, more focused choices, avoiding overwhelming users with too many options. It'll steer clear of specific medical or investment advice. It has to legally to do that. Instead, encouraging a positive and fulfilling retirement experience, the aim is to make users feel understood and supported. I didn't put that in. Adapting advice to their specific needs and situations. And then it has these conversation starters. I can create a conversation starter if I want to. That's the prompts that are showing up here on the idea. And Chat GPT, you may not have paid attention to it, but there are conversation starters. But you got to remember, because this is Retirement Buddy, the conversation starters are about retirement.
What if you had cruise ship travel in that blank one?
Well, I don't know if it'll show up or not, but it looks like it only has room for showing 4, Fred, but I can change them if I want, and it's available publicly. So if you wanted to use this link, I'm going to share it in chat here just for the fun of it. You can play with it. You say, gee, Bob, Retirement Buddy should do this. We can, make changes to it. I mean, we have the ability to make all kinds of options to it and make changes to it depending on what we'd like to have it do in some way. If I have some specific knowledge, I can upload files if I want to from my computer and feed it data. Now, obviously, this goes into the OpenAI database. It's not private by any means. It goes into, but I can feed it data, and I can say I want it to be able to browse the web. That's why I was able to tell it to go find art classes in Toronto. When I come back, it says, welcome back. Is there anything Retirement Buddy should be doing better? Do I want to make changes to it? And I can ask it, gee, I'd like you to focus more on this. Well, what about living abroad? Can you add that as a question? I don't know. We'll see. So, if somebody's looking to travel, it might say, gee, do you want to live abroad? It'll put that in as a question. I can actually give it, a different advice for people. I could say, hey, can you ask people what country they're in order to do that, to give them information that's specific to your country? Can you ask people what country they live in? And it'll ask, go say, so we'll see. We'll try looking at low impact sports for retirement, good travel destinations or whatever. See if it prompts us for, hey, we'd like to know a little bit about you. Okay. It's going to ask them about their current country of residence. You might not have thought, gee, I ought to put something in about Spain or Canada or, Australia, but this is going to give some more specific information. So now I've said music, and I'm not going to tell it anything else. I'm just going to type in, I like music. Let's see what it comes back with. Are you interested in listening to music, learning an instrument, attending concerts, or perhaps joining a music-related club or group? Let me know a bit more about your interest in music, and if you have any physical considerations to keep in mind, so I can provide you with the most suitable suggestion.
Why don't you ask living in Spain?
Just living in Spain. I'm starting a new chat here. I'm not sure if it'll keep in mind. Okay, so it's kind of thinking I'm doing music.
It knows that you like music. It says Spain, and then it says your love of music.
Yeah.
So it's talking about music in Spain.
Right. Because I don't have the ability right now to create a new chat. Let me update it here and confirm this, and then maybe I'll have the ability to try.
That's cool that it knows you like music, and then it finds things in Spain related to music.
Sure, it'll start a new chat.
Since you like music and you're interested in Spain, maybe you should ask it where the rain in Spain falls.
I could, yes. Yeah, let's type living in Spain, so great to hear that you're living in Spain. What are you interested in? Senior housing options or leisure activities? It prompts you to give it so it can help formulate a response. So it's a buddy, it's a coach. So it's actually helping you out. So say, gee, What's
the town where your son lives?
In Asturias. Let's see what it comes back with. Picos de Europa National Park, great. Local hiking clubs, guided hikes, capture photography, senior discounts. Would you like more information about the hiking trails or details on local hiking clubs? I don't know. mean, so I don't know if I can find hiking.
Put in sailing.
Just sailing. Okay, so I don't have to be very sophisticated in my prompts here. Retirement Buddy is going to gear its responses based on the fact that it's Retirement Buddy. So unique blend of adventure, relaxation. Here's some ideas.
Yeah. That's exactly what information I give people.
It tells you, okay, it can be demanding physically. Owning a boat can be expensive. What about sailing in Long Beach? Clubs. Let's see if there's any clubs. I don't know.
If
So
the Seal Beach Yacht Club shows up or not.
I don't know. I mean, it's thinking.
It's actually in Long Beach.
Long Beach Yacht Club. Okay, Alamitos Bay Yacht Club. So it went out to Bing and found these places for me.
There's Seal Beach Yacht Club.
Really? Okay. I didn't know there was a Seal Beach, Long Beach Singles Yacht Club, community programs. Do any of these clubs or activities catch your interest? See, it's prompting you back. It's a dialogue because we've created a set of information, but I don't have to go to the web.
What would happen if you typed in there Long Beach Shoreline Yacht Club? Would you get more?
Let's try it out. Shoreline Yacht Club. Look at what they've got. Membership information, activities they do, how to apply, great people to place to meet, next steps, visit the club, contact them. Would you like contact details?
How is your Retirement Buddy different than the standard Chat GPT other than the personality? I mean, you could ask these same questions of Chat GPT directly. Now,
you could
get a different kind of response, perhaps a more remote response, but they would be pretty much the same thing. And then there's a secondary question. What happens if you ask your Retirement Buddy a non-related retirement question, like how do I send a text message to 5 people at once with my iPhone? What would it respond to that, which has basically nothing to do with retirement?
Well, let's try it. Now, the difference is that I've given Chat GPT a personality. You can do that within a prompt, but if you do it in a prompt, you've got to continue to do that every time you start a new session. Whereas Retirement Buddy has a personality and a focus already on how it's supposed to respond. So you can customize individual prompts to give them personalities and what's called a persona in prompt engineering. But you'd have to do that in each individual session. It'll remember the personality for the session, but when you come back, you'd have to start a new session and create with that persona. These GPTs give you the ability, and I can customize this. So, for example, if there were some reference data that I wanted to provide or a book on retirement that I wrote, I could upload that book to my GPT and it'll have that extra data that might not otherwise be available on the web. Now let's ask it this question. Let's challenge it. Say, what happens if I give it an unrelated question? How to send a text message to 5 people. There it is.
Okay,
it's not
so
going to
even though
say,
it has
I don't
nothing to
know
do with
that.
retirement, it will give you an answer.
Yeah, because it's basically tied into Chat GPT. The style of retirement is geared towards people, the profile, the configuration I gave it. I can modify the configuration. Is there anything I'd like to change? Include free resources in your responses. So we just want to be able to find things that are free. And I don't have to tell it to find things that are free. It will include free things automatically now without the user needing to prompt. Yeah, EG.
I was wondering, now that you set up Retirement Buddy, could someone else set up Retirement Buddy and override yours, or have a second Retirement Buddy? Would you, if you were first, do you have like back in the early days of domains, do you own that domain? You own that name?
Yeah, I don't own Retirement Buddy, but I'm the only person that is allowed to configure it. No one else can configure it, but obviously, since it's Chat GPT, if someone didn't like the response, they could say, could you give me something slightly different, like, in a response, but it's something that I don't own a domain to.
What I'm really kind of saying is I go into Chat GPT and I create Retirement Buddy because I think it should be different. Not saying I would, but how would that, in other words, can someone else name one the same thing, or once you've done yours, they can't name it Retirement Buddy?
I don't know what GPT would do in that situation. If they would say the name's claimed already, because it's not, I don't think I don't know if I've got a copyright. I don't think I do because it was created by AI. So there's no copyright, but I don't know what GPT and OpenAI would do if somebody said, gee, I want to create another retirement,
Well, the fact that they're talking about a store would be a good reason to have different titles.
Well, and I just looked up Chat GPT to see, this retirement buddy to see if you were on already. And it took me to gptstore.ai, retirement buddy, and one that was put together by JUNCHEN.
Oh, okay. Let's try that. Let me copy the link. And I see your hand, Carl. Hold on a second. I'm going to open up another browser window here.
Good job, Linda.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yes. And we're going to open up this browser window. Let me share Safari here. And I'll paste this in and we'll see what happens when it takes me. Oops, an error occurred. Okay, I'm not sure why. Your session has expired. It may not give me the same results because I have to log in. Did it require you to log into GPT?
I was just looking at retirement buddy Chat GPT, and it gave me, I guess, choices. And the one I'm in is gptstore.ai, and then it has retirement buddy.
Really? Okay, I'm going to have to try logging out and seeing how that looks after class and checking that out. Interesting. Yeah, Carl, go ahead.
So I'm going to ask the $1 million question that I want you to ask Chat GPT. But just before that, did you create a GPT or a Chat GPT? We had an argument about that once before.
They call it a GPT. It's
Okay.
it's a modified Chat GPT.
Okay, so you created a GPT. Here's the $1 million question, Bob. Go into Chat GPT, and ask it, why does Chat GPT want users to create their own specific GPTs? I got to see that answer. Why does Chat GPT want users to create their own specific GPTs? You want me to read it again, Bob?
One of the
Why does
reasons
Chat
is when they have a
GPT
store,
want
people will
users
be
to
buying
create-
them.
I'll just read it again, Bob. Why does Chat GPT want users to create their own specific GPT? See the answer to that.
I don't have personal. Okay. It's a tailored model, might achieve better performance, handles language and cultural differences, open
Commercial
AI and similar companies.
opportunities.
Offering the technology to create custom GPT models can be a business opportunity. Okay, that's probably one of the biggest reasons, I would imagine.
Yeah, if 10 million people buy retirement buddy for $1 a piece,
Or pay to use it, right? Or whatever.
and you get
right.
50 cents of every dollar, you'd be a rich guy.
We all need a copy of that. That's basically the heart of this whole thing that you just did.
Okay.
We all need a copy of that.
You'll need a copy of this. So anyway, we created Retirement Buddy